And it's brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative. Welcome to your Friday. I'm Grady Butler. With me is Carol Kappas and Sheriff Mark Daniels. Good morning.
Good morning, Cochise County.
Hello, everyone.
And the weather this is a great monsoon.
It started strong, then it went into hibernation, and now it's back. It's back. So I love it. I do. I love the storms, especially when you're sleeping. Don't you agree? I love it when it storms and thunder and lightning and you hear the rain coming. But, yeah, it's been a great week for weather.
We really need the rain because last year's monsoon was just no good.
Oh, no. And we paid that all the way into the winter, and the spring was horrible. You look at some of the ranch lands, and to my rancher friends out there, I mean, they were talking about that big time. It was rough on them. So this is well-needed rain.
And this last week we had our elections.
We did. So thank you to everybody who went out and voted. I thought the turnout was a little light. Maybe I'm wrong on that. But either way, I want to say personally on this one, I can take some personal privilege here and just say thank you for everybody that did vote, number one. And I want to thank all those that voted for me. Thank you so much. I truly am honored and I'm humbled to continue to serving as your sheriff. And those that didn't want to vote for me, let me just say this. Reach out to me. Reach out. Carol, you and I dealt with we're setting up with an individual next week that wants to talk to us about some issues, and we're all about that. We'll sit down and talk to you. So you think we've done something wrong or we can do something better, or you just want to tell us what you don't like? Tell us what you like, of course. We always hear that. But I want to hear what you don't like either. Give us that opportunity, because if we're not engaged in a rural community, shame on all of us.
That's
you
right.
for not talking to us and we for not talking to you. So let's do this together, because that's what it's all about.
And one of the other things that circulates around voting and election times, and we had a couple complaints that we received during this time period, and it's really important that people understand that, take this right seriously. A lot of people fought very hard with losing family members themselves. Make sure you just take the opportunity that you've been given to vote, and make sure you don't try to intimidate people for them also taking that opportunity.
Well, people have a right to vote. And that's why you have that 75 feet buffer there around every polling area, voting center, so people can go there in peace and harmony, however you want to look at it, peace of mind, and go vote. Take the time and do their civic right, is what I call it. We did have an issue where an individual went to vote, and I'm assuming the way it sounds, they were inside that 75 feet buffer. An individual started taking pictures of them and then sent them the pictures, and not in a way of, hey, I saw you, but in a way of harassment. So there's a lot of violations there, and based on what we know, let the facts speak once we see the complete investigation, but we're looking into that. I mean, people have a right to go there and not to be harassed and not to be intimidated, but vote in with their peace of mind. So that's an example of what we just dealt with, and we're looking into that, and we'll see where that investigation goes. But we take those serious. We really do.
Yesterday, J.D. Vance was in our area. Can you tell everybody that's listening why he was here?
Well, first of all, I got a call last weekend saying, hey, we're going to come see you, Sheriff. And so I asked him, I said, why are you coming to Cochise? It's always a good question to ask. And I always ask people, and you all do a lot of the coordination on this with me. They said, we've heard so many good things about Cochise. You got to go see Cochise County. And that goes for our local law enforcement, the sheriff's office, our state, and our federal law enforcement partners. We work in a special bond here. So thank you to all you out there that I just mentioned. But it's getting word out. People are hearing all the good things we're doing, whether human trafficking, financial crime, interdiction, camera, virtual watch, whatever it may be. But we're working collectively. So that's why they were coming. So that's a compliment in itself. So yeah, our goal when people come down here, just like when Mr. Vance, Senator Vance, when he came, and obviously a nominee for vice president, was to educate him on the innovation, on our efforts to make our county, our citizens safe, but also our state and beyond, and how we're doing that beyond the walls and the proper of Cochise County. So again, thank you for coming. I gotta say it's not enough. Every elected official, especially at the federal level, should come see a border community, whether it's Cochise or wherever, Texas, New Mexico, other parts of Arizona or California. Go see a border. Understand, that's a national headline right now. Come down there, because we're going to need every federal leader to work intelligently with an education-supported base on it, so we can fix it. Not, say politically, because politics get in front of that. I don't care about the politics. Let's get this fixed because this is a quality of life issue, not just for Cochise County, but for America. So thank you, Mr. Vance, for coming.
And let's talk about that. Is this a political visit?
Well, I don't think you can argue it. There is a political side to this. I'm not going to try to hide from that question. The fact that, he just got nominated, 2 weeks ago to be the nominee for Donald Trump. So you bet. I mean, there's no doubt about it. But what I respect about it is he's here. He came here. And just for people to know, I know, Carol, you've been getting beat up on it, and I've had a couple of inquiries on it, and the fact that, well, why can't we come see him? Why can't we talk to him? We don't set those schedules. Initially, we had it set up that he was going to be here most of the day with us. When I set up and requested that we do a roundtable with community input, have maybe a meet and greet. However, but with what just happened in Pennsylvania with the Secret Service, if any of y'all saw the activity going around the community the last couple of days when he was here, it is very tight with security. The Secret Service, they have total control on this. They really do. He's a federal candidate with federal protection. We're local, sharing a local community issue with him, but also sharing our community with him. I put a nice welcome packet to him with a bunch of stuff about Cochise County and presented that to him. But at the end of the day, Secret Service dictates what we do and what we can say. And what press can be there, all that falls under them. Everything's, well, Carol, why can't you let people in? Sheriff, you got the authority, it's your county. It is, and we do a lot to poke at a lot of good things I think the county can and the citizens can benefit from. But this was an in and out. It changed it from a pretty long day to a very quick couple-hour visit, a couple statements, a couple educational moments, and then they were gone. So, but they told me they would be back to honor some of our requests. So I apologize to everybody out there, but we're going to get them back, and hopefully whoever gets elected in November, we want them back here. Let's get them back here. And that's one of the concerns and one of the complaints I've had is this administration, current administration, has not been here. That's not a political punch. It's just that's a fact. They have not been here, and they have not prioritized our borders. We want our administration to prioritize our borders, work with your mayors, work with your sheriffs, work with our governors, and let's get this problem fixed once and for all. And put your politics aside. Let's get this done right.
And one of the things that you were trying to do, information sharing and networking, and collaterally coming together with local, state, and federal partners. You were with CBP Commissioner in Tucson earlier this week, the Commissioner Troy Miller, and then General McChrystal. And there were some, I guess, come to Jesus moments when we found out, again, as a group, about some very disturbing issues with budgeting, but also I think that the good thing was the ability to share information and to share challenges and solutions that have come out of Cochise County.
Well, and the design of this meeting was to address fentanyl, to address partnerships, operational, and they brought in like the senior leadership from Tucson Police Department, my office, Pinal County folks were there, some Santa Cruz County folks there. Pima County was not there, but it was how we at the local level on the southeast corner of the state works with our federal government. I mean, the presenter made a comment, 55% of all the fentanyl comes through Arizona, this country. 55%. And that used to be 52%. In fact, it used to be like very, very small. But you see where we've gone. And one thing I said is we can talk operations all day because we really don't have at the national level coming down. You see it all the time in the press releases. Yeah, we're doing this program. We're doing this program. And I brought this up. But let's be real. It's not touching Cochise County. The agencies in that room are all pretty much the same theme as I. You guys talk more than you act when it comes to that. It's been 3.5 years and we haven't worked together very well. Why now? It could be politics, like you say, Grady. I'm sure that's a spin to it too. Bottom line, either we're going to have a true partnership or we're not. And we have to have actionable enforcement like we're doing here in Cochise County, and I brought that up. But something I learned, and something that disturbed me, and they asked me this question, about what's failing, what's not working, what can we do better with? 51% of Congress and the White House has to do a better job. They set budgets, they set priorities, and those two are lacking. But I learned that Stone Garden, which is one of our best programs for border sheriffs and local law enforcement to work interdiction on the border, that budget was cut. Congress cut that budget. DEA, they have lost agents because of their budget was cut. We've lost agents in Arizona, but we lead the nation. Over half the fentanyl is seized in Arizona, but we took agents away from here. And last but not least is HIDTA, high-intensity drug trafficking areas. Well, there's no doubt we're part of that. That budget was cut too. So I say that to the people is that's why you see me get frustrated. And that's why I include Congress. Congressional members that are turning their head on this, or they're more worried about being reelected instead of taking care of the people. Because I look at it this way. If people say, Sheriff, you got to go, your time's up. At least I can sit back. I did everything I could while I was here. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. But the bottom line, I'm not going to change my morals, my values to get reelected. And I am who I am. Either you like me or you don't. And but like I said, come see me if you don't, and let's talk about it. But come see if you like what we're doing too. And but those 3 programs was an eye opener, and I expressed my dissatisfaction with this. Something Tucson PD said, and I want to share it. So I don't want to quote, but I'm pretty sure this is how it came out. Over half of theirs. Pedestrian fatalities in Tucson are connected to fentanyl, where you got an impaired driver, or I think the person, the pedestrian. So look at that right there alone. Something you wouldn't even think about, but it was a very productive, very honest, very frank meeting. It was. I was really impressed. Commissioner Troy Miller was there. Also, General McChrystal was there. I sat next to him, and very good conversations with him. Very wise man. I'm just, 4-star general. These guys act together, no doubt about it. So again, just a good meeting. But we've had these before. You all know what I'm talking about. So, and that was stated too. We have these happy, feel-good meetings, and then in 24 hours later, you realize, what do we get done? So we'll see what happens. We're in election period. We're seeing some unique behavior, not abnormal, just unique. Because here we go, we got them all coming. But we'll see what happens. But we need to get back to the rule of law and mention the word. And I said this too. Border security is not just a statement. It's a policy. It's the rule of law.
Last week, for something fun, the National Night Out was in Huachuca City, and it was a good time.
It was, and they made the Sonoran hot dogs. Those
were a hit.
Oh, they were a hit, weren't they?
Yeah.
And they made me one. They're telling, hey, we made you one of these. It was really, really good, and well attended. Law enforcement all over the county was there. Fire departments were there. Nice job for Chief Wyatt, Barry, that the new chief down there, and just it was really nice. Mayor McCall went with me from Sierra Vista. Went down there and we talked to everybody and got our food, and just thanks for doing. We got a couple of those coming up. I saw one for Bisbee, saw one for Benson. One more I just saw. I thought
Sierra Vista's. Sierra Vista's coming in October.
Yeah, Sierra Vista's. There's one more I thought in there, but we'll get them out to you. We'll keep putting them out there. I think it's great that as we unite our communities. My mouth's not working today.
And you also were at a Buffalo Soldier event.
Went up to their ceremony, their annual ceremony, where they recognized the Buffalo Soldier. Well done, Fort Huachuca. Well done. And Tanya Linton, that name should ring a bell. She was the PIO for many years up there, was the guest speaker, but she also tells stories. She speaks in story themes, and she did an amazing job. So Tanya, thank you. I told her afterwards, very good. But way to recognize our Buffalo Soldiers. So it's nice. I know they had an event that night too at the Rothery Center. It was supposed to be at the park, got rained out. They went over and to the Rothery Center. But thank you to our Buffalo Soldiers and the history they've left us.
And this week we also had an event that celebrated our animal control officers.
It was at
Pit Stop Barbecue.
Pit Stop, I was going to say. I was thinking which one. Okay, Pit Stop, and it was for raising funds for furry friends, for Sierra Vista Animal Shelter and the Sheriff's Office. So I want to say thank you to the Pit Stop, number one, for doing that for us, but number two, for all our animal control officers, both city, county, and all throughout the county here, that do an amazing job taking care of and safeguarding our little friends.
And you also had change of command for General Eubanks.
Yes. Well, actually, we had a reception. His change of commands next month, first week in August, we had a reception. And that was just he talked to me about this a couple months ago, was just to have a 2-hour, 3-hour window where people just come up and just say thank you and socialize for a few minutes and say goodbye. And so him and his wife, Kim, just great people. Great people. And we wish them well. They've served our community well. They've served Fort Huachuca well. And they're heading off to the East Coast for the next chapter in their life. But hopefully we'll see them again.
Sheriff tips are on our website, and we wanted to let the public know that that's something we actually listen to and act on.
We're very serious about our sheriff's tips. If you have a tip, and you don't have to leave your name, but you can leave your name, which is always beneficial. But that's a good way to get information to us. And we monitor those all the time. And granted, if you don't get a call back, don't be offended. It's just we look at those, we prioritize those like we do anything else. But we had a tip this week, an elderly gentleman that was in a laundromat here in the county with a very young girl. And the girl was in the reporting party's eyes wasn't acting properly, very guarded, very, very shy looking, timid. And so that tip came into us. And we did some work to find that. We found the girl. She is safe. There was nothing wrong here. But we did, 2 days?
Yeah.
To chase that down, to figure out, to make sure. We did some good stuff on that. And Carol, thank you. I know you helped me out on that one too. We did the outreach in my detectives and deputies because I'd rather be wrong than right. This one's you want to be wrong than right. In this case, she was good, but we don't know that until we get that. That we don't just call. We actually want to look at them and have a one-on-one conversation to make sure that individual is right. Listen, we're on the border trafficking and abduction and trafficking. It's out there, folks.
And Carol, how do they turn in those tips?
So you can go on our webpage and you'll have a place where you can click on Sheriff's Tips. You can send us an email at sheriffstips@cochise.az.gov. You have a place where you can fill out the form. You don't have to be recontacted. Again, you can do it anonymously. And those go to a group of individuals. We are able to review all of them and make sure that we follow up on whatever you happen to have information-wise. And so full circle, where we started, weather. So your stop of the week and your safety message, same.
Yeah, so Saturday I was out for a couple events, and we had that huge storm. Anybody driving and listen to us, that huge storm on Saturday afternoon. I mean, or around lunchtime, a little after lunchtime, it was coming down sideways. But as a result of that, the Molson Road area, Hereford area, was just flooded. So my deputies were all on calls. I mean, we had an injury accident out there. We had a serious medical call that, based on his location in the mud, we could have a hard time getting to him. And we had the ambulance. That's been all over social media, got stuck, and I won't say anything more about it. I think there's enough been said about that. But they got stuck in the mud. I saw that, but never got down to them. Fry Fire did a very, very good job with their engine blocking the road for us. But we had an individual. His intent is great, so please, I'm not being ill when I say this. So when it was storming sideways, he actually took his truck, which is black in color, and put it sideways on Molson Road, just past the crest of a hill. Well, here comes a teenager in a Jeep over the crest and T-boned it. And he was injured. He was injured in that collision. And the person driving the truck asked me, he goes, because the visibility was so low. Now you have a responsibility of the driver in a Jeep that should slow down. You got to drive within the conditions, reasonable and prudent, they call that. But the individual, because it's a dark colored truck with no emergency lights, he's sideways on the road. Nobody saw me there. So his intent was great. His application was illegal. And then, of course, the other individual wasn't wearing a seatbelt, which caused some head trauma, facial trauma. So, again, I had one deputy on that scene while we were trying to get the road closed. Big shout out to Sheriff's Assist team for getting out there with us. And people are asking me, can I go through the wash? Folks, if you got to ask, chances are you shouldn't do it. You really shouldn't do it. And that's why we close those roads down. It's road department, big shout out for the Cochise County Road Department, Highway Department. They got out there right away, shutting these down. But once you put a barricade up, you go around a barricade, that's illegal, by the way. I want to make sure I note that, because we had barricades without law enforcement for a while, because we couldn't get anybody there. We're at accident scenes trying to get the people in distress, and then we had another vehicle off the road they're trying to get to. It was just, for about 2 hours, it was pretty chaotic. Why the other deputies were just running calls from, you name it, the normal calls. So we don't have a plethora of deputies out there. We don't. So we have to prioritize each one of them. And I told a young deputy on the injury accident, he goes, Sheriff, I said, I got to go. You got this, man. You got this. Fry's going to cover this. You cover your back until I get back here. So we did what we had to do. But thank you to the citizens that were very patient with us and stopped to help us. And again, it worked through. But be careful out there. Turn around, don't drown. I know it's all over the place. You get tired of hearing it during the season, but when you see people go through washes and then there's a result, a negative result, they didn't hear us. So we'll keep reminding until monsoon season over.
Well, Sheriff Mark Daniels, we thank you for coming and talking to us today.
Grady, thank you. Carol, thank you. And thank you, everybody. Be safe out there and stay dry, everybody.
And Carol, who do we have coming in next?
We have Adam Curtis from the city of Sierra Vista. He's the communications manager.
First Watch on KWCD Country. It's brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative. And it's brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative. I'm Grady Butler, and with us is our next guest, Adam Curtis, communications manager with the city of Sierra Vista. Good morning.
Yeah, hi Grady, great to be here.
So last time you were here, you talked about hummingbirds, and we're going to do that again. But first, I want to talk about what's going on at the Nancy J. Brewer Animal Care Center. They've got some fun stuff happening.
Absolutely. So just recently they started a dog sleepover program. So typically you can be a foster family, and there's some rules and stuff about how that works. What's different about this is you can be a really short-term foster if you'd like to be in this program. So you can take a dog home for even just a night or just a weekend. That's why it's called a sleepover. And basically it helps the shelter because it socializes the dogs, it puts them in new environments, and that keeps them and makes them more adoptable over time. And also the shelter during the summer is always dealing with capacity issues. It's a very busy time for owner turn-ins and other stuff. So this helps them free up some space as well. But yeah, it's really important to, keep the dogs healthy and happy, socialize them, get them experience in different homes and stuff. So if you ever want to take a dog for your home for just a weekend, maybe you're not ready for a full commitment, it's a great chance to do that. But I did want to mention something else too. Just last week we sent out a press release on this, and our animal control folks have noticed more reported cases of parvo and distemper. So they take precautions at the animal shelter to prevent outbreaks and stuff there, but they have had a lot of owners report this. So please take advantage of the shelter's free vaccination program. If you do have a puppy of 9 months or younger, you can actually bring them to the Nancy J. Brewer Animal Care Center, and they will vaccinate that puppy for free. That's part of their puppy parvo prevention program, the 4 Ps.
That was pretty good. You did that.
Yeah, it's a tongue twister. So definitely check that out if you have a young puppy. Please do not bring in any sick animals. And symptoms for this is like sickness in humans, like lethargy, coughing, vomiting, that kind of stuff. Keep the animals at home if they're actually sick. Contact your veterinarian because both parvo and distemper can be life-threatening. They're serious diseases and they are highly contagious. So please check with your veterinarian if your dogs are sick. Also, if your dogs are older than 9 months, get them vaccinated anyway if they're not up to date on those vaccines, and work with your veterinarians on that. So we definitely want to protect our pets.
And how do we get a hold of the Nancy J. Brewer Animal Care Center, even online?
Yeah, so you can check out our website, sierravista.gov, but they are open Tuesday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Saturday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And you can always contact the shelter at 520-458-4151. That's 458-4151. You can leave a message if no one's available, but Tuesday through Friday and 10 a.m. to 2 on Saturday are great ways to get hold of them.
Now, last time you were here, you talked about a hummingbird event that was coming up, and now it's here.
Yeah, so the whole month of August is Hummingbird Month in and for the city of Sierra Vista. It's the first time ever that we're declaring it as Hummingbird Month. We are the hummingbird capital of Arizona officially. You can see more hummingbirds here in Sierra Vista throughout the year than just about any place in the United States. So we wanted to celebrate that, and we also wanted to support hummingbirds. So we're doing a couple different things in August. First of all, go to the Sierra Vista AZ website. There's a big banner. Click the link, and you'll see everything. But there's a bunch of different activities and events we're doing throughout August related to hummingbirds. There's Lively Little Birds Talk coming up pretty soon that you'll see listed on there with the Southeastern Arizona Bird Observatory President Tom Wood talking all about hummingbirds. There's a DIY hummingbird feeder event. There's a couple of hummingbird hunts, which are we're working with Southwest Wings to actually help organize those, and those are going to be little birding tours where you can actually go to some of the hummingbird hotspots and see some of these cool species yourself. But we're also partnering with Southwest Wings in general to raise awareness about both hummingbirds in general and their Birding in Nature Festival, which is also taking place right now. Actually, it started on Wednesday. So check out our website to find a link over to their website, and you'll find out lots more information. But they are mostly at the mall at Sierra Vista for the free stuff. So definitely stop by the mall this weekend and stop by. There's different kind of informational displays. They usually have some animals and stuff there too, so definitely something to check out. And we really appreciate the partnership with them. But in addition to celebrating the hummingbird hummingbirds, we're also supporting them this month. So we launched a campaign called Hummingbird Heroes. And we have about a dozen or so businesses that have already signed up to help out with that. And basically by signing up, they agreed to raise money to support SABO, which is the Southeastern Arizona Bird Observatory, in August. And a lot of them have donation bins. We provide them a donation bin if that's what they would like to do. Some have actual specials or events as well. So like Landmark Cafe has about 4 different hummingbird specials. There's a couple cocktails, a coffee, and some cookies, I believe. But anytime you participate in one of these events, purchase one of these specials, part of the proceeds has to go to SABO in order for them to be part of the Hummingbird Heroes campaign. And the Hummingbird Hero logo, if you've seen it, is very adorable. Our very talented graphic designer, Barry McGordon, who just retired in June, made it, so shout out to Barry. He does fantastic work. If you want that logo yourself on a t-shirt, you can get it at the Sierra Vista Visitor Center. We just celebrated the grand reopening of that about a week ago in conjunction with kicking off Hummingbird Month. And when you buy that t-shirt, which is adorable, that also helps support SABO.
All right, and I understand you brought some trivia questions for me, and I'm nervous.
I did. So there are so many cool little facts about hummingbirds. They are the strangest, coolest little creatures on the planet, in my opinion. So I'm going to see how much you know.
Okay.
So first off, a lot of hummingbirds migrate, and I imagine you know that, and they travel extraordinary distances. This one particular type of hummingbird has the longest migration route in the world. And I'm going to ask you, how long is that migration route?
In miles?
In miles.
It's got to be something big, like 500 miles.
A little bit more than that.
Oh, no.
Just
How much?
4,000
Oh,
miles.
my goodness.
So that is from Alaska to Mexico, basically.
Wow.
Yeah, it is the Rufous hummingbird. And they make that trip twice a year, basically, flying back and forth between Alaska and Mexico.
Wow.
Absolutely extraordinary.
Yeah, it
just
is.
imagining this little bird that has to eat so much every day just to keep its heart pumping and its wings flapping, that it can travel like that is just insane. I'm going to ask you another question in a second. They can actually go to a state of torpor, which is kind of like a hibernation, which is how they kind of sleep, and also during bad weather, how they survive. So their metabolisms are so incredibly fast, but they slow it down at night or when it's really cold, and are almost in kind of a hibernation for that night.
Wow.
Which is really neat. So next question. We know hummingbirds' hearts beat super fast, so spoiler alert, they're a lot faster than the average heart rate for a human, which is about 70 beats per minute.
Okay.
So how many beats per minute does a hummingbird's heart beat?
I'm going to triple it, and this is probably too much. I'm going to double it. 140 a minute.
Not even close.
Oh, man. Is it 500?
Not even close.
Wow. Okay, what do we got?
So 1,260 beats per minute.
You know the next question, I'm going to give you some really high number now.
Yeah, it's a good idea. When it comes to hummingbirds,
Wow.
it is really hard to understand the scale at which they are working. It's really crazy. I sometimes wonder what their perception of time is like with how
Yes.
fast they must experience the world in comparison to us. We must just be slow-moving big creatures to them.
Right.
Okay, next question. And I'll give you a little free factoid as part of this. You mentioned before we started recording that you knew that they can fly backwards.
Yes,
and
I
that's
did know
true.
that. I was hoping that was one of the questions.
Yeah, that is the only bird that can fly forwards and backwards is a hummingbird. This is true because instead of just flapping up and down, they actually do little figure eights with their wings. So they're the only bird that does do that. So how many times per second do they flap? And that's completely a whole little figure eight.
Per second?
Per second.
500.
Okay, you went a little high this time. But it is up to 75 times per second. In some mating flights where they do some exceptional aerodynamic stuff in the air, they can get up to a little higher than that, but 75 typically is about the high point. Which, if you imagine 75 little figure eights in a second, that
That's a
doesn't
lot.
even make sense.
I know my 500 sounds kind of dumb now, but yeah,
It's a lot.
78's a lot.
78 is so much. That's why they're a blur. But yeah, if anyone wants to learn some more awesome hummingbird facts, and actually a whole lot about our local birding scene, they should check out our podcast, Let's Talk Sierra Vista. Our second to most recent one was with Chris Harbar and Tom Wood. Chris Harbar is from Southwest Wings, and Tom's from the Southeastern Arizona Bird Observatory. And we talk all about hummingbirds in celebration of Hummingbird Month. It was a lot of fun. You learn a lot more of cool little facts, and you grow to understand why Sierra Vista is so important to birders from around the world, and you might even get inspired to, go check out some of these birding hotspots yourself.
Yes, I need to learn more about hummingbirds, obviously.
Yes, you do. I can't believe you've lived here so long. You're a local legend, and you know so little about hummingbirds. We'll work on that.
I need to learn more. Yes, that's true.
So check out the podcast, Let's Talk Sierra Vista. I'm going to plug our other episode that just came out. It was with Blackstar Orbital Technologies CEO, Christopher Jeanette. And Blackstar is actually coming to Sierra Vista. We have plans to work with them to create a manufacturing and testing facility for their spaceplane satellite hybrid. That facility is planned to be online in 2026. We are working on a feasibility study to actually get a license for space reentry. If we get that, we will be one of 3 sites in the nation that have such a license. So assuming all goes as planned, sometime in the near future, the next 2 to 3 years, Blackstar will be building basically these kind of drones that are like space planes that can also do all kinds of cool stuff while they're in space, act as satellites and do a bunch of other stuff. And then they will return and actually land here in Sierra Vista. So they do not get launched here, but they will land here. That conversation is so much fun, and I was just talking to Grady all about Star Trek, and spoiler alert, I talked to Christopher a bit about Star Trek as well. So for all the Trekkies out there, I do have him weigh in on Star Wars versus Star Trek, so you'll have to tune in the podcast to hear his thoughts on that. But we had a whole lot of fun.
Sounds great. Well, how can they get a hold of you at the city to find out more about these programs and beyond?
Yeah, so I'm over at City Hall, so you can always just stop by, find all information on our website, sierravistaz.gov. That's where our podcast is as well. You can also find Let's Talk Sierra Vista. That's the podcast name on your podcast app of choice, so search for Let's Talk Sierra Vista. If you ever have any question, you can message us on social media. That goes to our office as well, and we can help you out. And then my final plug for this morning is for our Spotlight Breakfast. That is our annual State of the City event. That is coming up on Tuesday, August 13th at 6:30 a.m. For $25, you get breakfast, but you also get to learn all about what the city's been up to. We have a bunch of exciting projects in the works. You learn more about Blackstar, more about Hummingbird Month, and tons of other stuff. So do check out our Spotlight Breakfast. You can find tickets for that on eventbrite.com. That's eventbrite.com. And then just search for Spotlight Breakfast. And that is a great way to network, get involved with the movers and shakers in our area and our community, and also just hear about all the awesome stuff the city of Sierra Vista is up to. So Spotlight Breakfast, eventbrite.com.
Well, Adam Curtis, we thank you for coming and talking to us today and catching us up on everything Sierra Vista.
Thank you so much, Grady.
That's Adam Curtis, Communications Manager with the City of Sierra Vista. First Watch on KWCD Country is brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative. And it's brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative. I'm Grady Butler, and with me is Carol Kappas, Public Information Officer with the Sheriff's Office. And our next guest is Melanie from the Sierra Vista Chamber of Commerce. But you have a new name we're going to go over in just a minute. But first, introduce yourself to the folks. Tell them who you are.
Well, good morning. This is Melanie Edwards-Barton. I'm the CEO of the Sky Islands Regional Partnership and the Sky Islands Foundation.
And you are the Sierra Vista Chamber of Commerce, but that's now the name. Tell us how that happened.
Oh, absolutely. That is our name now. We did change it. We actually just had our anniversary. We turned 65 on Monday. So we've been the Sierra Vista Area Chamber of Commerce for 65 years. But it was time for a little bit of a change, time to move into the future. And it's so important that people understand that about a third of our members aren't even located in Sierra Vista. And so as much as we love Sierra Vista, the name was limiting to our members and to our business. And so it was time for a change, and we really wanted to highlight the fact that we are in the middle of the Sky Islands. It's very important for tourism, but it's very important for business as well, to bring businesses to the Sky Islands, to southeastern Arizona. And so we're all about business without boundaries, so we didn't want to limit our name by saying we're the Cochise County, because we actually have members that are located in Pima and Santa Cruz counties, and so other areas. But we really wanted to be inclusive of all of our members. And we wanted to help all of our members and our communities down here understand that when they're marketing through us, through the chamber, the partnership, that they're not just marketing to Sierra Vista, they're marketing to our region down here. And so we're very excited about the name, and it's going very well, and we just love it. So we're excited.
Well, let's talk about some of the events you've got coming up, because there's always something happening with you guys. And their first event that's coming up is the Business at Twilight. What is that?
Yes, so what's exciting about our name change is that we literally changed our name and our logo, but what we do as your regional chamber of commerce stays the same. So none of that's changed. We still have memberships. We still have our events. We're still doing everything like we used to do it. It's just a name change and a logo change. So with that, we have our events. So we do have Business at Twilight. It is our monthly networking. It's a mixer, and it is hosted each month by a different member of the partnership. And so coming up on August 15th, it is actually Copper Brothel Brewery in Sonoyta. So they're a member of our partnership, our chamber, and they are actually hosting. So we're going to have a great time. It's from 5 to 7 p.m. Please register on our website in advance. There's no cost to attend, but it's great networking and a lot of fun. So register at skyislandsrp.com. So please get registered for that, but we're excited to be out at the Copper Brothel Brewery on August 15th from 5 to 7.
One of my favorites events is the Business Expo that you put on every year. That's coming up pretty soon as well.
It is. So it's going to be August 31st. We changed the name a little bit. It's Sky Islands Regional Fest. So we're surf in the desert. So that's the abbreviation. So we're surfing in the desert, but we're going to have a lot of fun. We're making it bigger and better this year. And so our vendor registration is open right now. We do have early bird pricing for all of our events. So early bird registration for our vendors will end on August 17th. So that's important. And vendor registration will actually close on August 24th. But the fest will be on August 31st at the mall at Sierra Vista from 10 to 3. And we're going to have wine and beer there. We have some great members who are going to be out there. We will have the Thunder Vet set out there. The Sierra Vista Police Department will be out there. Vendors from around southeastern Arizona, entertainment, and more. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We encourage everybody to come out and have a good time.
The next Good Morning Sierra Vista is happening in September.
Yes, it is. And so our guest speakers are from Arizona at Work. So for all of our businesses out there that are having trouble hiring, are needing some assistance, are wondering why it's so difficult to hire, this is the one that you really want to be at, and you really want to learn more about that. I mean, if you're somebody who's looking for a job, this is a great place for you to network and to learn more about Arizona at Work as well. Their services are at no cost, so it's a great organization, and we love to partner with them on workforce development. So again, that will be on September 9th at 7 a.m. at Cochise College Student Union here in Sierra Vista. But early bird registration ends on August 27th, and the registration will close on September 3rd. So again, you can just go to skyislandsrp.com, click on our calendar, and you can just register right there.
Tell me about the Golf Scramble that's coming up in October.
So we are excited about our annual Golf Scramble. This year we're going to be hosting it on October 11th at Pueblo del Sol Country Club. Yes, the one that just got sold to the city. But we're excited. We have a lot of games and fun things that are going to be happening. So this is a great opportunity, honestly, for some people to kind of skip out of work a little early on that day and come out and golf. But registration is open for that as well. This does support our Sky Islands Regional Partnership, and so we're going to have a lot of fun. But again, that is going to be October 11th at Pueblo del Sol Country Club, and early bird registration ends on September 20th. Registration closes on September 27th. So please register now at skyislandsrp.com.
And then coming up after that, you've got Bring a Vet to Lunch.
Yes, so Bring a Vet to Lunch. We do this every year. This is our way of thanking our veterans, active and retired. And so that'll happen on November 6th at 11:30. And it'll happen at Thunder Mountain Activity Center. But this is the a great opportunity for our businesses out there to show their support. We're doing things a little bit differently. Our businesses can purchase a table, or anybody can purchase a table, and 2 of those seats will automatically be donated to our veterans. So our veterans get to attend for free, and this is our way of thanking them and giving a little bit back to them. And so for our businesses out there, if you're interested in purchasing a table, please go to skyislandsrp.com. Go ahead and jump on and get that purchase now. Early bird registration ends October 16th. Registration closes October 23rd. But again, that'll be November 6th at 11:30 at Thunder Mountain Activity Center. And we're just so excited to every year to do this event. It's a lot of fun, and it's a great way to give back to our veterans. So we've got that coming up as well. And we're going through all of these right now because registration is open for all of our events on our website right now, all the way through the year.
Is it too early to talk about Christmas?
It's never too early to talk about Christmas.
Tell us about the Christmas parade.
So our 65th annual Christmas parade is coming up this December. And every year, it's a light parade, it's nighttime, but every year we choose a theme. And so this year, I think we have the best theme out of all of them. So this year, our theme is your favorite Christmas movie. So I know we're going to have Elves, we're going to have Nightmare Before Christmas, we're going to have Die Hard, whatever your favorite Christmas movie is, that is the theme of your float or your entry. And so it's going to be a fun one this year. I can't wait to see all these floats. It'll be December 7th. So if you're interested in being in the parade, registration is open.
Someone's got to do Home Alone 2 for me.
Oh, Home Alone, right? I mean, just think about it. I love the Three Amigos at Christmas time. Really has nothing to do with Christmas, but it's a family tradition. And so I just can't wait to see. It's going to be a fun one this year. We just want to invite everybody out. Southeastern Arizona, come on out, support this parade. It's going to be a lot of fun, but I figure we'll have record attendance and probably record entries.
Yes.
So it's going to be a fun one this year. So registration is open, so jump on and get registered for that too.
So everything you just heard, all the registration is open. Early registration can save you some money as well. So give us the contact information on how to get to your website and how to reach you.
So contact information, everything is on our website. You can go to skyislandsrp.com. Calendar is there, registrations are there, community bulletin board for upcoming events is there. But if you need to contact us, give us a call at 520-458-6940.
Well, thanks for coming and talking to us today, and thank you for everything you do in our community.
Well, thank you.
First Watch on KWCD Country. It's brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative.